I would like to recite a poem that I wrote for my daughter. I'll try not to cry while I'm doing it. It's about how she saved my life. I dedicate it to all the daughters in the room and those that we have lost to violence. I was wondering what I'd tell you the day you become a woman. The day you'll no longer need me to tie these pink ribbons in your hair. On that day, I will transform. From the 50-foot tall warrior who slays monsters under your bed and pours paradise into every meal, into this woman that I am. And so I wrote this letter for you. Dear future warriors. Yeah. God was generous the day he blessed me with you. It took 9 months to perfect bliss, and I know there's so much to learn, but I offer you this. Own your body. Let every bend and twist inspire the world. Let all that see recognize, respect, and deserve your deeply feminine curves. You see, I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but remember this. What's in between your hips is just as important as what's in between your lips. Own your anger. Never fear what's left, for you were born with a warrior's soul, with strength as your shield, knowledge as your sword. Even good girls have to fight the revolution. Even good girls have to fight for evolution, and know your life may not be televised, but you will still shine like stars in my eyes. Own your words. Choose them carefully, one by one, like lovers. For a woman is only as good as the words she stands on, and words are only as good as the foundation they are built upon. You see, I know it's hard being born into a fatherless room, conceived in this fatherless womb, but baby, don't make it your tomb. You see, I can't teach you to be a woman like me, because I am only half the woman you will ever be, but I can teach you how to love the moon and stars, how to love words like I love you. But you must choose your own words, write your own stories, tell your own truths, and one day you'll have your own stories to share. But for right now, baby, I just want to hold you close and tie these pink ribbons in your hair. Thank you.
Hey, Dad. My 5th birthday party is coming up, and this year I think I'm getting an ice cream cake. Do you like ice cream cake? Well, I'll save you a slice. Love you, Brandon. Hey, Dad. My 10th birthday party is next week, and when I woke up this morning, the first thing Mom said was, "Dang, you look just like your daddy." Maybe that's why my reflection is so unfamiliar sometimes. Anyways, I really hope you can make it to the party this year. I miss you a lot. All right, well, I'll see you at the party. Hopefully. Sincerely, Brandon. Hey, Tyrone. I just turned 16 years old today, and about a week ago, I thought about inviting you to my birthday party this year, because all the kids at school always ask, "Are you going to make it?" And I always end up telling them that you're out of town. Now, Mama told me stop lying so much, but technically you are out of town, so I guess I wasn't really lying, because what's a little half-truth when you've only ever known half your roots? But I'm tired of sticking up for you. I'm tired of all these sleepless nights. I'm tired of coming out with excuses for your absence. I'm tired of trying to reform my self-image into something that you would consider to be beautiful. I'm tired of trying to earn the title of being called your son as if it wasn't my birthright. So you know what, Dad, or Tyrone, whoever the hell you are, I'm done. Because all I ever wanted was for you to acknowledge my existence. But despite my persistence, I haven't even met resistance, just absence. And I hate the fact that I still want you here. But I'm done being caught in this delusion. The idea that you, a mirage, could alleviate my confusion. I don't need you. I never did. This is my last letter to you, Tyrone. Goodbye. Dear Tyrone, 25 years, I cried into pillow sheets wondering why you left me. Wondering what I could have done to have earned your love, or how I pushed you so far away. Your absence, like a flame, found home in the kindling of my insecurities, and my mind became a wildfire. And as I ascended in age, my sorrow turned to rage, because I wanted to move on, but I simply couldn't turn the page. Or I didn't want to, because somehow being angry with you still made me feel close to you. And despite our lack of history, Tyrone, I've come to learn that pain, like secrets, can only control you if you hold them within. So I've laid down these woes at the altar of Christ just so I can tell you this. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you so I can finally be free. No longer shackled to my misery, because this situation is so much bigger than you and me. This right here is generational healing, because I'm getting married soon. And I want our first chapter together to be started off on the right page with you by my side as I marry my bride. Because Tyrone, for the first time ever, I can honestly say, I love you. And I actually mean it. So will you be there for my biggest day ever? Sincerely, your son, Brandon.
Okay, yeah, Susie Bear, I thought somebody was blocking you up in here. Here we go.
Hello? Hey, Tyrone. I got something I'd like to read to you.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. We about to get this show started. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into it. We got a lot going on tonight, folks. First of all, I got to shout out all my friends in the chat: Susie Bear, VM, Lady Rendy, Phoenix Soul, Mistress Newbie, you know, everybody up in here. Why Seeking Knowledge, Lady Rendy, Camo, Kids and Caskets up in here. Yes, everybody. Miss RV in the clouds. We about to do this tonight. Mistress Newbie up in here. Here we go. Let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, right there.
You would and still have a virgin asshole.
Okay, well,
a virgin asshole.
Okay.
And never has sucked a penis. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Think, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
You see Jonathan Major.
Okay, let me pause it right there. You heard what he said, right? Let's rewind.
Down in 2 weekends. Scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
So then something like this.
A model, an online model, killed her boyfriend. Everybody basically said, well, no, it was actually self-defense. And then it came out, well, no, it wasn't. And she was eventually charged with murder. We have new video. This is on the Courtney Clenny and Christian Abumso. All right, here's the new video, and I will get into the details.
Anyway, like I was sober for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And now why am I not sober? You're
Spit feminine, friendly, and submissive. That looks fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. And we know what happened with Mr. Majors, right? So why do these men have so much smoke for black women if they getting this kind of treatment?
Let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Okay. Come on, boy. Let go of me. Like, I'm getting like, I'll start to hit me. Like, just on me. You don't want to hit me? Christian, he saw me, and I know he's looking. I'm fed up with you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with that.
Yeah, that's feminine, friendly, and submissive. Submissive.
Yes, but don't ask you.
You let Moana say some whine that affected you.
I didn't let her say anything, but you
Now,
did.
on the real, he should have been gone. He should have just, when somebody's like that, just leave. Really, just leave. I mean, man or woman, either way, leave. Go. Don't stay for that. Don't stay for that kind of after party.
Ask her, can I touch her breast yesterday?
Instigated here.
No, you're telling me I touched her breast yesterday when I.
You did. I didn't say nothing.
You said I did.
You were leaving. Yo, you were dumb as. I actually don't agree with you. Actually, I'm done.
Okay.
Can you send him home?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, fine.
Done. Because you're costing me money. I didn't do.
You know what's funny about this? I went all over them YouTube streets, even went over to Dee Dee's. They get as quiet as a mouse on this shit. Quiet as a mouse. Quiet, nothing. Nothing about this. Nothing. Anton's went there, nothing. You know, I floated around, MTR, went there, nothing. The hoodlums, I went to the hoodlum circuit, nothing. Nothing there. So I'm literally on here feeling bad for this brother right here, right? And they ain't saying nothing about it because their only thing is hating on black women. That's their only market. That's their only market. That and harassment, or maybe some stalking. You know? Other than that, the red pill ain't got nothing to offer. Here we go.
He's like, I want this house because of you.
You let Moana say some whine ass.
No, because of you. Flirting with like 3 girls the whole time.
What 3 girls? What 3 girls? You?
Well, maybe
You?
Milan.
I was flirting with Milan.
And she's saying, hey, go get your mans. You're fired.
Fine.
Hopefully, shut up. Hopefully,
You are the most
good thing. Shut
ever been in my
up.
life.
You want
You corny.
to get the out of here. Send your house.
Yeah, cool.
To my house. Like, you're just like my boyfriend. Get the out of here. I can actually get the out if you're not here.
Yeah.
Get the out of here.
Okay, I'll remember that next time.
Get out. No, that's not even next time. Get the out.
Stop touching
Get
me.
out.
Don't touch me yet.
Good thing, get out, bitch. Get out.
Bitch.
You never loved me.
You know, the ironic thing is when all of this went down, when he was killed, it was her friends who alerted authorities that they may need to investigate her because they did, in fact, yes, have a dysfunctional relationship. But according to her friends in the original narrative, she was much more volatile than he was. Put it up for mass.
This is part of the story. I think it's pretty simple. You getting my point? Have you ever been in the black manosphere, or I call it the what I call it, The chocolate red pill. That's what I call it. The chocolate red pill with SBE candy. You know? Let me go full mass on this. Let me go full mass. There we go. Yep. We're talking chocolate red pill. SBE candy. But she's not, this situation here doesn't fit into their narrative. This doesn't fit into the narrative at all. Not only was she not fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive, oh man, she was a lot worse than that. And it's funny because you heard me play the clip with Cat Williams telling fellas what was up. Because Cat Williams dates white women too. He does. He dates white women too. So he knows. You heard him when you heard what he said. But with all that negative connotation, black men in the manosphere, because I can't speak for each and every one of them, but in the manosphere, sees this woman as an upgrade. That might be their last upgrade. Unfortunately, it might be your last upgrade, but it's you guys see her as an upgrade, which is interesting because if that's the case, then why even bother to bother black women at all? Just go about your business and good luck. Good luck. Take your chances. You know? Take your chances. Go ahead, roll them dice. You know? Oh man, yeah, there's 24 people up in here. Let's get the likes up. I mean, even the people who don't like me, dislike me. Because I mean, at least I add some type of interesting thing to your life. You know? Whether you like it or not. It's something. It's an option, right? You never know. But you got to like me. Anyway, you don't have to like me. Just digitally like me. That's the way to say it. Then that way you know by liking me, you don't have to like me. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Okay, here we go. Rat girl in the house.
New video released by attorneys for the victim's family. Courtney, the social media model, accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend, Christian Seli, in their luxury Miami condo, can be seen repeatedly striking and yelling at him in an incident weeks before the violent crime. The new video shows an encounter between both Courtney and Christian in Aspen, Colorado. This was back in 2022.
Rat girl, K Brown in the house. Here we go.
Christian and Courtney had moved to South Florida from Texas in January 2022. The 3-minute video was taken by a third person and shows that Courtney, wearing a blue puffy jacket over her zebra print sports bra and matching pants.
Seli, is that Nigerian? I think it's, I don't know.
Was attacking Christian, who's wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. It's unknown what started the argument, though Courtney accuses Christian of flirting with other girls and tells him she had been sober for 2 weeks. Weeks later, April 3rd, 2022, the 27-year-old Christian was found fatally stabbed in the couple's luxury condo. All right. And I want to remind you of another video that we have here. Here it is.
Okay, let me pause it right there. This is very interesting right here too. Here we go.
To know that I'm on a panel with a surgically altered black man. Because if I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man, If I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man,
Listen closely. Listen closely.
my conversation might have been different. My analysis might have been different. My critique might have been different. My insight might have been different. You want to bring a surgically altered male to the conversation? No worries, because intellectually, nobody can handle me. Intellectually, nobody can handle me. So if you want to bring a surgically altered...
Wait a minute. If intellectually nobody can handle you, right? Then why didn't you intellectually know she was or he was, whatever they want to respond to, a surgically altered human being? Well, genius, let me play that part again. I want to get my roast on. I want to get my roast on. Here we go.
male to the conversation? No worries, because intellectually, nobody can handle me. Intellectually, nobody can handle me. So if
Then why didn't he intellectually before he was on the show? Because you know they give you a list of who's going to be on the show. Why didn't he do the research on everybody on the show? Then he would have knew, right? He would have knew, but he didn't. So why are you going to say this?
If you want to bring a surgically altered male, no disrespect, but don't you think you have a right to tell me? Do your guests...
If you're so smart, you should already know. Right? Man, already. Hey, thank you so much, NY to SF, TCM. Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Get it straight, DJ Torch. Black women like you. Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, you know, I appreciate that a lot. Indiana, mom in the house. Miss RV in the house. Feisty Black Tina is up in the house. Lady Rindy in the house. The Rat Girl's in the house. Susie Bear's in the house. Man, we got a full house. Let's get this party started. Here we go. Jumping to the next one. Here we go.
He runs out. How you perform in bed, that...
Okay, let me go back.
Welcome to Hardly Initiated.
Okay,
Most qualified to help us out on here because, man, when I turn on, my computer and I look on social media or just see the conversations that's being had, it seems like it's truly a great divide between Black men and women today.
True.
Especially in the space of love and relationships.
Correct.
It just seems like we don't have a ton of trust among one another. Everybody is very cynical about long.
I keep going.
Term relationships. And this is, I would call it a major crisis right now in our community.
I would agree with that.
I disagree. It's been a major crisis. It's been a major crisis for a long time. It's been a major crisis since the color purple. Yeah. I mean, really. You know what I mean? It's been a problem. So why are they? That's the one thing that makes me laugh is that when people are making a problem about something that's been a problem. Oh my God, now it's just, oh no, look, it's a problem now.
We know we have an economic crisis in the community, but now we see
had one. We've been had one.
That this family and this relational crisis that we have that's rising, which one would you say is greater right now as far as an issue or potential issue for the future of our relationships and our family?
I would say that they're related. If we look at this in its proper context, we go back and we see that the rise of the single Black mother-led household doesn't begin until the 70s. Up until then, most of our...
See, that's kind of misleading the way he put it there, the rise of the single Black mother household. He kind of makes it sound like it's some type of advantage to a single Black mother. The problem is how did that rise happen? There's not supposed to be a rise of a single Black mother household. The only way that happens is if somebody else leaves. Whether there's three basic ways people can leave. There's a lot of ways people leave. One, The dude just left. He never meant to be there in the first place, was careless, made her pregnant, he left. 2, they had a relationship, but maybe he wasn't that cool, or maybe she just simply disagreed with the way he was handling things. And 3 is the dude was just toxic and he had to go. Or 4, I'm going to add one more, incarceration. Remember, one of 3 brothers incarcerated. That's basically what's going down. So remember, a lot of these single black mothers didn't think they were going to be single black mothers.
Our homes had a mother and a father. So slavery didn't destroy the black family. We stayed married through slavery. I know my ancestors in particular, they kept the family together through slavery. So it wasn't slavery that did it. It was the economic disintegration of the black community. So after they assassinated Dr. King, the US government decided upon a policy to destroy the black man's ability to fund any future civil rights efforts. So they came into the inner cities and they took out all the factory jobs, stripped the black man of his ability to earn. Remember, up until the 70s, they were not
Let me
pushing.
pause this for a minute. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. Whether somebody is surgically altered or not does not negate their argument. If they are stating factual information with the receipts, age of Aquarius, you can no longer dismiss someone. Bars.
Go to college in order to be a success. You can live a decent life working in any of the major inner cities as a laborer. So they took that out. Then they went into the high schools and stripped the high schools of the industrial building training programs. So carpentry, auto mechanic, welding, roofing, electric, plumbing, they took all that out. Those was the skills that paid the bills. In essence, what they did was they made the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. I want to say that one more time. The 70s was the beginning of the process of making the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman.
Right. The funny thing is this, is that if that happened, okay, I understand what he's saying. I mean, really, when you think about it, the 70s, if he wants to put it there, wherever you want to put it, it made the black man economically irrelevant to anybody. And I'm not going to disagree with that. The problem is that it doesn't have to still be that way. So let me keep going here.
A man's primary responsibility is to protect and to provide. We can protect, but the providing is the issue. Now, you fast forward that.
No, not so fast with that protection stuff. It sounds like to me he forgot about that whole "we don't want to protect" movement that's happening right now in the black male community. I'm not gonna show receipts because I already did. I showed it in I believe it was in breakfast with what's her name, Dee Dee, where she had a panel. Some guy on there was bragging about how he doesn't want to protect women or be protected by women at all. So that's a fact. Don't make me bring it up. So that's to be debated. And the fact that we saw what's going on in black women, hey, the thing is this, if he wants to bring up protection, what place do black men come in the protection department in the United States? We come in last. We come in last. So that is part of black men living in fantasy land. We are living in fantasy land if we really think we are doing a good job protecting our own women, because we are not. We are not. When that dude jumped over to attack that judge, there were lawyers and shit getting in the fight. Meanwhile, some guy who had a regular gig, right, was telling me on the panel, okay, that no, I don't protect black women because they don't do nothing good for me. Talking crap like that. That's what he sounded like. I don't need their kind of protection. I didn't tell them to march. He said that too. I didn't tell them to march. That's what he actually said that. I kid you not. I kid you not. So if we have this provision protection thing and women already provide better for themselves, because you're going to hear it soon by men's telling you that women do that, then the only thing left was protection, and we don't even do that good. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
65 years until now, since Dr. King's assassination, a lot of our women don't understand the political history that brought about the economic devastation of the black male. If my woman makes more money than me, that in and of itself is not a problem.
Okay. Got it. That in itself is not a problem. Let's keep going.
Unless she attributes the reason she makes more money than me to the fact that I'm lazy, I'm shiftless, I'm irresponsible, I'm unaccountable. It's the interpretation of the reality.
Well, this is the thing. Okay. The thing is this, he's trying to sell this. Let me break it down like this.
A lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men.
Okay,
right?
so black women are making a lot more money. Okay, let's listen again.
For the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men. Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right?
Right. Okay. So black women are making more money for the most part than black men. Okay. So we got that down. So if that's the case, right, what's the problem? If black women are making more money than most black men, right? From Tyler Perry's point of view, whether it is right or wrong, we won't even go into it. We'll just take him on his word, right? Then what's the problem? What is the problem? The problem is that black men are not making as much as black women, according to Tyler Perry. And if that's the case, who needs to step up? What, you want black women to make less? You want them to, instead of going in for work for 8 hours, go in for 4 hours? See, this is the funny part. I love this. After the fact, after the hype is gone, conversations. Because then, you can pick up on things that were missed. And one of the things that were missed was this. Black men in the manosphere were championing Tyler Perry for saying this. But what I've been argued many times on this channel is that they'll say that, oh no, black men make more than black women, black men make more than black women. If that's the case, then if black men make more than black women, I got a checkmate here. That's what I'm getting to. If black men, according to the manosphere, makes more money than black women, then why do black women have to settle? Gotcha real good. Got you real good. So do you want to believe me or do you want to believe Tyler. Fellas, I don't care. Take your pick. It's checkmate either way. I got you either way.
If it's a good man.
Let me pause it right there. Let me put me back on screen. Okay. So I think we're getting somewhere here. Here we go.
Economic devastation of the black male. If my woman makes more money than me, that in and of itself is not a problem. Unless she attributes the reason she makes more money than me to the fact that I'm lazy, I'm shiftless, I'm irresponsible, I'm unaccountable. It's the interpretation of the reality that's our problem. Because if my woman makes more money than me, then so be it. That shouldn't necessarily be an issue unless
okay, so let me break something down like this. Let's say a man's wife is making $130,000 or $140,000, and the man is only making $100,000. That's not a problem. You're both gainfully employed. That's the key. That's bottom line is it. If the man wanted to make more money, then he can make more money probably if he wanted to. You know, there might be a logistic reason. Who knows? Maybe he or she has limitations that they have. That's not the problem. It's when she's making $120,000 and he's making $20,000. And the only way that can happen is when he is not equally yoked at all. And even Kevin Samuels had a theory about being equally yoked. He said people are supposed to be equally yoked, which is ironic coming from him since his younger wife made 3 times as much as he did before he got divorced and then didn't pay child support. So it's not the less and more necessarily as much as the a lot less. It just hasn't worked out. Women who tend to be, I will go as far as saying women who tend to make a lot more than their spouses, and their spouses makes like below poverty, they're in danger. I'll go as far as saying they're in danger. Not that it's only not going to work, but they're in danger. Already, black women already report 40% of DV cases. And then on top of it, black women report the least DV by percentage in their community. So that means that really the actual DV percentage is probably around, I don't know, 65, maybe even 70. That's a bad metric. Let me go.
He feels some types of way about that, or if I feel some type of way about that, because it does go both ways. You have sisters who feel like they can emotionally abuse and emasculate brothers if they have more education and income. On the flip side, you got brothers who cannot accept a relationship where the woman out earns and out educates him. So it can go both ways. But that economic piece is major because we're the only men in America who are out earned by our women. We're the only.
You heard it. So we heard it once from Tyler, right? He's a pretty big community guy, right? And now we're hearing it from Dr. Umar, right? So this game that's going on in the chocolate red pill about, oh yeah, we black men make more than black women. Whatever. Take it up with your friends. Take it up with the friends that when they say something you like, you agree to. You take it up with them. Take it up with them. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. Kings will say that the government should have been helping them to argue that men should not be begging for handouts from other men. Exactly. I mean, here's the funny part. Black men, guess who votes the least? Guess who votes the least? You guessed it. You guessed it. We do. We vote the least. So if you really want things, the man, to change things for you, you might want to line up and vote. But better yet, not just only vote, but actually read who's actually going to give you what you want. Because a lot of you guys, the ones who think about voting, you're going the wrong way. You go ahead. Go ahead and vote the way you're going to vote. Go hit that double red, fellas. See where that gets you. See it. Let's find out. Don't get mad if you go to one of their things and they say stuff to you. Anyway, let me keep it going.
He wants, and it's by design. Now, when you come to YouTube and you see the back and forth banter between the men and the women,
Something also that's by design is when you play sports, then the opponent is designed to try to beat you. But the key to competition is coming up with a counter design or something like that and beating them. That's the straight up thing right there. Let me keep it going.
a lot of that is due to poor political education and understanding of the reality. But another part of it is trauma. See, we got to understand when we get emotional, we're dealing with our unconscious pains and memories.
Yeah. So if you guys are out there in the manosphere or anywhere else, or anyone really, but if you're out there yelling, you're not thinking. If you're out there attacking, you're not thinking. If you're out there breaking rules and policies, you're not thinking. If you're breaking the law, you're not thinking. Okay? If you're falsifying shit, you're not thinking. You're becoming the problem if you aren't already the problem. Let me keep it going.
Nobody's in the present moment when you get emotional. The minute you are overrun by your emotions, that's your trauma talking. And one of the reasons black male-female relationships are—
I saw a lot of trauma bomb bandits doing their thing. They was going at it. They was going at it. Man. I remember I just had a peaceful conversation with somebody from another channel. We actually had a pretty peaceful conversation. Hates my guts, but that doesn't matter. We had a peaceful. Did you know that he got attacked? They attacked him for two black men having a peaceful conversation with each other. That's how toxic the environment is. Let me keep it going.
are so dysfunctional is you got traumatic man trying to relate to traumatic woman. Neither one of them is dealing with the person across the table because they're both reacting from past hurt, which is why I believe.
Right. And here's the weird thing that people didn't think about. The common denominator of the pain givers, guess who it is? Checkmate. It's men. You saw the clip I played. Remember that the poet clip from before? I didn't play it for no reason. He looked pretty hurt. That young man who was in the poetry thing, he looked pretty hurt to me. Right? He looked pretty damn hurt to me. He looked like he had a lot of trauma from his father not being around, right? Same for women. Same for the young ladies. We're the common denominator, fellas. We need to change that. So you can, here's some options for you. You can cuss me out. You can attack me in different ways, right? You can, oh my God. Siri, stop. Okay. You can contemplate, think, clear your mind. You can do that. You can And then you can get therapy. But oh yeah, you know, I know the talk. Black men aren't supposed to get therapy. Well, then there you go. Then there you go. Let me keep it going just for a little bit more. Here we go.
That when you get out of one relationship before you go into another one, you need a period of healing, because if in fact you were in love, it's going to take you a while to heal your soul back.
Okay, I believe I believe completely what Queenmaker says. I don't believe if men for the most part we don't love. We don't. Come on. Nope. There might be some obsession, some stuff like that, some lust, but she's actually right. I thought about it. I thought about all my friends in the past. That's just the way it is. Oh, dang. Everybody, is it blurry on your end? The internet on the screen. Here we go.
Because love is the process of two becoming one. So if that was really love before you move on, you got to take a break and heal. The problem, gentlemen, is we don't like to take the break and heal. And the reason why,
I mean, to take the break and heal, you need more than that. You're gonna have to get some help.
Black men and Black women don't like to take the break to heal is when you are in solitude. And this is why spirituality functions on a foundation of solitude. When you are alone, your soul forces to the surface issues in your life that you need to address that you don't feel
Let
like.
me pause. Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down like this. They are in extreme denial. This is the root of their problem. Bars. It is the root of our problem, fellas. It is. It really is. I don't see a cure if they can't confront that. Bars.
Like addressing. So the reason I'm rushing out to get another woman isn't because I'm ready to build another relationship. It's because when I'm home alone, I deal with my abandonment of my mother. I deal with my sexual abuse of my uncle. I deal with the emotional emasculation I suffered from my mother. I'm dealing with the bullying from my siblings. You see that?
Yeah.
So how do you escape your internal demons? You run out and you date. And so in the Black community, dating and mating has become the newest drug. It's how we escape from taking responsibility for our emotional health.
Wow. Damn. Dating is the new drug.
Well, here there's one problem he forgot to mention, but we know that because he's talking about. I assume that he's on talking about Black love, but there's a painful option that works out really well, at least for, might work out well for both. See, the thing is that there's less men than there are women, Black men than women, not men in general. Okay, Black men than women. So the simple thing is to basically focus on finding an undamaged individual, regardless of race, creed, color. You see where I'm going with this, right? Finding an undamaged individual. But the narrative is they want you to go ahead and get into a struggle love situation. Like this.
All women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have, quite frankly, having the resources, and some of them are.
Would you date
if he owns the
ever?
Are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver?
She dated a bus driver. He put hands and feet all over her. That's crazy.
You. Would you date
If
a
he
bus
owns
driver?
the bus, if he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus,
See,
he
that's
owns
a
it.
problem. That's a problem.
She's a freaking millionaire. Millionaires marry millionaires in every other culture. The fact that even got you, the fact that come on, fellas, come on. She's a freaking millionaire. Not like a super millionaire, but she's got money. Okay? You can call her miserable and all that other stuff, but she got money. Okay? So with that said, and she works so much to be miserable, right? And she has a right to be miserable with somebody else who's miserable because they have money. If that's what you want to call her, miserable. It's funny because struggle love, there's a reason why it's called struggle love. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. Umar wants a polyamorous relationship where the women work while he can be broke, jobless, and trying to corral more women into his harem. Yep. They try to use scriptures to validate their stances. That is completely true. That is completely true. It sounds like to me when he was talking about, oh yeah, they call us lazy, blah, blah, he's talking about himself. Because why would you bring it up? Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down like this. Lady Rende, I have been wanting them to hit the proverbial fork in the road like all wise entities do, but this mess is in deep crisis mode. And look at the antics of these dusties. Boom. Yep. We got dusties out here falsifying stuff. Going to women's pages and attacking them. Making numerous false statements. Jumping over judges, on judges, around judges. Lady Rindy breaks it down like this. Ayana dated and married a couple of bus drivers. She is a 3-time divorcee and has survived abuse multiple times in multiple relationships. Yet, she wants other Black women to struggle and suffer as she did. Freaking bars right there. Bars. Straight up bars. Let's get into the struggle love part of this. Let's go over this struggle love right now.
If it's a good man, a hardworking man, somebody that is loyal to you, somebody that makes you feel safe, I don't see a problem with helping your partner.
Let me bring that up. Let me bring that volume up a little bit. Give it a little taste. Here we go. I'm going to bring it back to the beginning. Here we go.
If it's a good man, a hardworking man, somebody that is loyal to you, somebody that makes you feel safe,
By the way, this is Life with Melanie. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I already liked her, so.
I don't see a problem with helping your partner out. I don't mind building. However, over here, we talked about like giving men more grace. It's helping them. A lot of the times these women have helped. They poured a lot into a man. Okay. We have poured ourselves into relationships. We have tried to build up men. And afterwards, we've gotten nothing in return, which then builds resentment to those.
No. You got something in return. Oh, she's beautiful, by the way. But you got something in return. Damage and dust. Damage and dust.
Men. And why I say that being independent isn't a bad thing is because some of us have been let down so many times. Some of us have allowed a man to lead, and he's led us to hell. So
yeah.
so now there is no There is no other way to be but independent. Now, can I be interdependent in a relationship? Yes. Can I love you still? Can I build up my king? Absolutely. But do I have my own? Do I stand on my own square? And does that intimidate some insecure that don't have anything to show for themselves? That what they do is break you down? Absolutely. So we're not going to act like those men don't exist. And that's why I was turning in my chair.
Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's Melanie.
Let me pause it right there. So I turn this down a little bit. You get the point, the gist. See, they try to make it sound like women are delusional, but it's really actually us men that are delusional. And the reason why is this because when a woman gets delusional, she gets deleted. Men don't. Well, that's not actually true either. But you get my point. Susie Bear breaks it down like this. Wait, Miss RV says this. Yes, why? And they are scared. But I thought they were getting their passports though. Yep. And then, oh yeah, and then, yep, yes, Miss RV, and won't shut up while they do it. Exactly, crying the whole time and busting through. Oh man, this is going on up in here. Okay, let me keep it going.
And in this video, we're talking about struggle love.
I'm not a sprinkle baddie. I don't condone that. But I will never build with a man, participate in struggle love.
Let me bring it up just a little bit more.
Because number one, I already have my money up. Nobody is struggling again. And number two, more times than I'd like to remember, guys have admitted that they are with the girlfriends that they have now because those are the kinds of women that are low value, low maintenance, the ones that can stay with them till they get their money up and chase the women that they really want. And they actually told me this. It's mind-boggling. Never ever settle, because I promise you that a man, if he could afford to, he wouldn't settle for you. When these men make their money, instead of them to use it and put it into the
And remember, she's saying don't say they won't settle for you. Look how pretty she is. It doesn't matter. We've seen it already. It doesn't matter. Settling to them is not being able to be, it's either being monogamous to a lot of the men in our community means settling. That's settling. That's the settling part. It's not about getting an attractive, a woman they are attractive to, because it won't be enough. We've seen that happen. You seen how these dudes, Keke Palmer is gorgeous. You saw what she went through, right? Tanea, what's her name? Taylor or something like that. Hey, she is fine and built like a bottle of wine, but dude cheated on her too. What was her name? The one was who and Eva. Who was that? Come on now. I forgot. But anyway, he cheated on her with dudes. So, yeah. Here we go.
I've been with them. There are babes that have been with them from when they were broke and had nothing. Their eye will start tricking their eye outside to babes that are already like bougie, already bad, and they just be pumping more money into them. Meanwhile, they are growing like irritation and disgust for the wives and the girlfriends.
Let me pause it right there. This is what happens. This is a perfect example of what she's talking about.
Why is that okay with my money though?
Y'all literally are the same.
How?
Y'all both got me for once.
We both have you?
Yeah.
She has you. She has you. She could call you right now. You about to go link up with Yes. Okay. All right. I think no.
Look,
What am I looking at?
the only difference between y'all two is that you got a ring and she don't.
But we're on the same level.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give her the ring. I'm gonna give her the ring. Is that okay?
Look, baby.
I'm gonna serve you with the divorce papers, and you could give her the ring. That could be a Christmas present. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Let's stay on the couch. Stay on the couch that y'all bought me. Stay on the couch. What do you mean? You just said we're on the same level, so she could have my spot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. She can have my spot. She can have my spot. No, she can have my spot. You just said it. You just said it was okay.
You know, this shit really bothering me right now. How you acting?
Okay. And it bothered me when I seen a charge on my card for a Christmas gift.
Y'all literally the same.
And you okay, so you should have bought it yourself.
I'm saying though, you got a ring.
All right, I'm serving you with divorce papers. She can have the ring. Merry Christmas.
I love that. I think I'll never get tired of that. Or they give you this, or they give you this.
Well, last night, remember, we showed you this shocking video of a 3-time felon attacking a Las Vegas judge. Well, he was hit with new criminal charges today. We have the new details from CBS's Carter Evans.
Shocking courtroom video from Las Vegas shows the moment
Yeah.
30-year-old Deobra Redden leaps over the bench, tackling Judge Mary Kay Holthus. Redden is a 3-time felon in court this time for sentencing after pleading guilty to attempted battery
Well,
with
somebody gave we gave him three tries in the community. Attempted battery and a substantial bodily harm. He's literally hurting people in the community. He's got some DV on his his report too. And with DVs, well, we know they got, they got to have them restraining orders. Yep. DV and restraining orders always go together.
with substantial bodily harm. Redden was not in custody at the time, and moments before the attack, he calmly asked the judge for probation.
I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do.
But the judge said probation wasn't working.
But I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
Redden tackled the judge to the ground before.
So is that what the chocolate red pill have to offer? Is that what we have to offer? Well, not me, because I ain't no chocolate red pill, that's for sure. They remind me of that every single day of the week. Lady Rindy breaks it down like this: Tiana Taylor, Megan Thee Stallion, Nia Long, Halle Berry, Rihanna, Tintina Arnold, and countless others have been cheated on. Looks don't matter at all. Bars. Bars. Bars, Rat Girl. Rat Girl says this, but according to his sisters, the system failed him. Yep. Of course it did. Of course it did. Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Though they gave him all those chances, he got 3 chances, didn't take advantage of them, didn't go for help. Yep. We got 40 in this piece. Let's get the likes up, fam. Let's get it going. Here we go.
For being wrestled off her. Judge Holthus was injured but not hospitalized. A courtroom marshal was treated at a hospital for his injuries. Redden is in jail now, facing multiple new charges, including battery on a protected person. He's due back in court next week.
Yeah. I mean, how do you expect? And that's what I'm talking about, which is men in our community are delusional. Not all, but there's a large portion of us that are, because you're expecting to behave like this man does, maybe not exactly like this, but you're expecting to, and then be trusted. Either like the cheater guy I showed you. Remember the cheater guy? Either a cheater or a hitter. You expect women to trust you blindly. That ride or die stuff. Yep. Okay. Welcome, Chaos Reign. He a battery offender. I assume that's offender. So he done time in prison before? I believe I don't know if it's prison, but he definitely went to jail. I think this is his first time going to prison, but he went to jail and has been on probation. Meanwhile, whilst beating the crap out of other women. Whilst beating the crap out of other women. Other women paid for his freedom in pain. Welcome, Trizzle. Trizzle in the house. I'm telling you, other women paid for his freedom with their pain. Welcome Welcome, Darnell. Hey, you know something? I bet I was delusional too sometime. You know, Atlas Uncover says this. I think he blacked out and doesn't remember attacking the judge. I wouldn't be surprised, but still, he blacked out when he was beating up on those women too. That's the only problem. So he needs to black out when he's, you know, let's put it this way. I don't care where he goes as long as it's away from us in our community, for now at least. So he can go to an asylum or a mental health facility. I'm perfectly good with that, but at least for 3 years. And get actual real help. Because obviously if they're saying that he got help, well, you see that didn't work. So there's not much you can do with that. There's not much you can do with that. This is how he is now, fellas. This is how y'all will end up when you start abusing the law. Here we go on the chain gang. The chain, see? Man, it's got me in shackles. Well, how'd you get there? Maybe beating the crap out of people isn't a good, occupation. Look, oh, he ain't going nowhere now. They're looking at him like, do something. Please lunge for the judge. Please lunge for the judge. Golden ladies in the house. You know what I mean? They are saying, please. So this is the thing. Why would anybody want to trust this man? And get this. There's at least 30% of them in our community. That's a lot of damage, folks. Jig a leg. Oh, man. Oh, Mr. Stu. Then we went to Mr. Stu. He said, since he blacks out under duress, it will serve him well when Bubba is bending him over. Oh, man. Hey, look, you should act right, Welcome, Rika Reed Gaming. Rika Reed Gaming in the house. I mean, come on. Here we go.
Mr. Almaci's here now. Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing. When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun to pronounce sentence when an incident occurred. An incident initiated by Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing.
Oh, that's right. That's right, Rat Girl. You broke it down perfectly. DJ, he's black and a male. So trust is automatic. Yeah, basically, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want. I've been around those red pills. I've been around those reds, those chocolate red pills. And that's actually it. They never qualify their own. These men never qualify their own and say, well, I want a good woman should give black men a chance if they're good black men. They never say that. They just say men. And then when I debate them, they start having a shit fit. Which tells you they don't have any impulse control whatsoever. Here we go.
Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. I am making my calendar page from that day an exhibit for the court. It's as it existed the moment I walked in, prior to anything happening, nothing's been changed. indicating the sentence I intended to impose. I'll let you with that for a moment.
Yeah, exactly. All of us are good. All of us are good. Everybody, just go out there and trust each and every black man. Even this guy right here. Even the guy right here. You know.
All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. How much credit for time served does he have?
It's 0 days. He was on probation when he committed the offense and was revoked on probation to serve the jail time October 25th. That time it expired at about the time of the plea. So
0 days credit. Mr. Almasi, if that's different, let us know. We'll fix it.
I will.
The motion question I wanted to move at this point. And for the record, I just reflexively wrote 0 days credit time served on the notes. Because of what I just said.
All right. I think we've seen enough. Now we're going to get to the good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. In this corner, Dr. Umar. In the other corner, Cynthia G.
Are black men? Is there a war being waged against black men? First of all, I want to see where you all stand. Just by a yes or
Bring the volume down just a little bit. I hear a little tiny tad of distortion. Don't want that. Here we go.
no. Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Duan?
Absolutely, yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that black men are waging against the black community.
Some truth to it, but I think that truth is also evident in black women. Black men, many of them may choose to want a white woman, but many black women choose to look like white women. So we have to
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did that? Okay, let me bring that back up. They did some cutoff. Okay.
Yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that black men are waging against the black community.
some truth to it, but I think that truth is also evident in black women. Black men, many of them.
That's the problem I'm having right there. It's not, see, this is pretty simple. Usually what you want to do is fix the biggest problem first. Black women, if they became fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, all in the community, okay, nothing would change. If anything, probably femicide would go up, if anything. Okay? Because if you haven't noticed, that's what's going on. So for him to switch it around, right there tells me he's not here to solve problems. Because he should have been like, well, okay, Cynthia G, yeah, you're right. Our numbers aren't looking good. We're not employed enough. We're too violent. We get incarcerated too much. Okay? Minus the man factor, if you want to mix that in. But you see my point. He went into immediately throwing black women under the bus. Immediately.
Them may choose to want a white woman, but many black women choose to look like white women. So we have to look at ourselves and we have to recognize that the pathology is
How
not.
a black woman dresses herself should not be a concern to a black man if you are struggling, especially if you are struggling. Okay? You take a woman as you see her. If you're not attracted, you move on. Don't care about whether a black woman has a wig on or not, or has long hair or not, because bottom line is a lot of black women have naturally long hair or whatever. A lot of black women have European features. The fact that that he's saying this and making black men use up more brain cells to analyze black women, whilst getting shot at, is stupid. It's actually stupid. Rika Reed Gaming says this, man, the host annoyed me in this debate. The way she cut Cynthia short and let the other hammer on was unfair. Yep, exactly. Here we go.
More of one gender than the other. That's the issue I have with conversations that seek to see who is more at fault, the black man or the black woman. It's not about who's more at fault. We rise together or we will perish together.
It's like this. Right now, even right now, modern women will still follow a good man. But there aren't enough good men. That's the problem. There's no men to follow. And that's the problem that Umar is not addressing. I'm sorry, you can say, oh yeah, there's some good men out there, not that many. Every time I ask somebody what percentage you think it is, go ahead, give me a ballpark figure. They can't figure it out. They literally can't figure it out. They cannot tell me. Okay. Then I said, okay, well, I interviewed one of the red pill guys who rocks with you guys, and he said 15% of the black men in the community are marriage material, which means relationship material. So if somebody from their side of the tracks is saying that, then let's just go with 15. That leaves 85% of men not cool. Not cool. A lot of it has to do with the fact that we have the wrong leaders we have the wrong leaders, but basically that's the problem right there. Let me keep it going here. Here we go.
The black man cannot survive without his woman, and the black woman cannot survive without her man. And the issue that I take with my two sisters' narrative is I hear a lot of criticism. I hear a lot of condemnation, but I don't hear any empowerment. I don't hear any solutions coming from either one of them. It appears as
I don't hear any solutions coming from him. That's the thing. Here we go.
That there is a hatred towards black men by those sisters. Even when they said, why are we going back to 1960? Let's stay in 2022. That is so immature and irresponsible of a statement.
So Cynthia G, what do you say to historical context?
I say we should go to the historical context, because what I have not heard from Dr. Umar Johnson, or I think his name is Dewan, is what I have not heard as they're mentioning all of the things that was done to them. I haven't heard what you did in response to it.
Right. Bars. Golden Lady says this, ain't nothing wrong with who you date. Leave black women out of it, though. Don't blame, don't blame your preference on black women wanting to be with white women. Yeah, black women wanting to be white women. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hey, if you want to plan the sugar, go for it. Just leave black women out of the excuse. Yeah, Mom. Dude looks like he got electrocuted and lived. Rika Reed Gaming says this, when they found out about the biological man speaking for black women after this was funny as AF to me. I'm sorry if I read that wrong. Other races of women mimic us. They sure do. And body contour to be shaped like us, correct. I know I never tried to look like anyone other than Miss Damn RV. Bars. Here we go.
So I would like to know, what did you do in response in history other than go to the Supreme Court and petition to have access to the men's women that you're complaining and accusing of disenfranchising you? See, because in the 1960s, what Black men were really doing, and it's been documented, many civil rights leaders have admitted to it, what Black men were doing is chasing the white man's woman, trying to so-called stick it to him by way of going to their women. What you should have been doing is trying to get liberation for yourself. What you should have been trying to do is get that foot off your neck. But see, the foot is not on your neck. And the only time you recognize it being on your neck is when you want to get away with doing something that you think white men are getting away with doing. Because let's just be real. Whenever we hear about this war against Black men, it's usually being brought up when there's a Black man like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, we see Trey Songz going through it, Ari Spears.
Diddy.
When they engage in some degeneracy, and then they're getting a consequence for it. And Black men think that because they perceive white men to be getting away with crimes, they want to be able to get away with crimes as well. The reality is, Dr. Umar can sit up here and list all the different ways that the system is disenfranchising Black men and lump Black men in a victim boat. But the reality is, what he cannot tell you is what Black men did in response to it, because they did nothing.
Well, number
Bars. Let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. I know. So, I mean, if you want to get yours in, there it is. Link drop. Let's see what his response is. They going at it. Here we go.
For one, again, I think that it is such a shame coming from a psychological perspective that we seek to heal our wounds as a people by.
Let me pause that for a minute because I don't think he's going to start boring me. Lady Rinda says this. Also, he knows Black women will discriminate against in the work, or will be discriminated against in the workplace for wearing their natural hair, especially since the Crown Act has to be passed to combat those issues. Again, he's lying. Bars. Then, it ain't our job to empower you. Bars, golden lady, bars. Exactly. It's other cultures of men, it's the other way around. So why for our culture, it's the women that have to do the empowering? Here we go.
Are relying on unprofessional testimony by individuals who have a vendetta against the opposite gender in their community. When you hear Sister Cynthia speak, you can hear a hurt and a pain and a hatred towards Black men. We cannot find an effective solution to Black male-female relationship issues or the oppression.
Actually, she's quite calm and relaxed when she's saying it. Her voice does cut though, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Black men or Black women, when the people at the table having the conversation have negative emotional and pathological interest in the conversation that are not.
Umar, the question wasn't about my emotional state. The question was, what did Black men do in response to their disenfranchisement?
That's one thing about Cynthia. She is not patient for bullshit. She is not patient for bullshit. She sat there. She gave him a chance to land a plane. He didn't land a plane. She's got to say something. That's what's going on.
I was talking.
Yeah, because you're trying to pathologize my emotional state, not knowing that I'm a psychologist too. But what you're not doing is telling us what Black men did.
I believe he'll get there, Dr. Umar.
May I finish?
Dr. Umar.
And I'll end it quickly, Sister Tammy. According to Mrs. Cynthia G., Dr. King was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Malcolm X was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Medgar Evers was assassinated because he was doing nothing. Fred Hampton was assassinated because he was doing nothing.
Most of those men died by the hands of Black men, whether they were puppets or not.
Narrative that Black men have done nothing to fight back against systemic oppression, not only against ourselves, but against our women, our children, our elders, and our community is absolutely ridiculous. The cemetery is filled with Black men, names we know and names we don't know, who gave their life for the freedom, liberation, and emancipation of African people. How can you disrespect the history of so many Black men, past and present, who continue to fight? I'm sitting in a school right now that we built with all Black money, 4 buildings that we're going to educate Black men in. It's not easy.
Did that get built yet? Let me keep going.
To solve our problems, because there's always Black people in your very same community who's fighting against what you're trying to do to help it. But in addition to that, the white power structure is always waving its wand of oppression to try to
Well, I mean, the thing is that Rick and Rickery Gaming is reinforcing it. You can hear all over the modern Black community that their goal is to leave Black women and get with other women. I'm going to be open-minded, not just white women, but other women. So if that's the case, then why is he focusing on Black women? Because they can just go get other women, and hopefully not get stabbed, or go through a divorce and lose everything, or have to run down the street and then lose all your multi-million dollar acting gigs. Welcome, Darnell. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, DJ Torch. How about yourself?
Chilling. Diving right back in here. Here we go.
Anything we do. I think that the analysis of our women is too overly simplistic, and in being such, it is dishonest.
They've done so much. You've only listed names and not accomplishments, though.
I can list some accomplishments. Okay, when it comes down to it, what have Black men done since the 60s? We've turned around and we've gotten, we're still inventing things. We're still opening up businesses. Here in LA, you got Black businesses all around town. It's just that when we open these businesses up, you have a city that these Black businesses suddenly catch on fire. You have issues when it comes down to what's going on right now with one of my cousins and these abatement laws.
Okay, remember now, he hasn't named anything. Okay, I don't know whether he's doing it on purpose or that his comprehension skills are off, but that's not what she's asking for.
Who's built plenty of properties here in LA, managing it, but because there was some gang activity down the street, a nuisance.
Who's in the gangs? You notice how, like Black men, we like to separate ourselves from other Black men when it comes to negative shit we do, but instead of saying we need to talk to these brothers and get them in line, but all of a sudden the gangs turn into like their own race of, they call them the race of gangs or something like that. Instead of saying he should focus on either making the gangs go away or putting the gangs in jail or somehow restoring them to whatever type of way they need to be to not be gangs. Listen to he's just giving us excuses. That's the problem I'm having. I don't want to hear excuses. I want this guy, if you're knowledgeable and you're a family advocate, holy shit. Let me just play this.
Abatement is about to get all of his properties taken. So when Black men do build things and we build things on individual basis, you're not going to see an NBC special about what the great Black man built. When Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, and J. Prince tried to put together a distribution, they all got charges the next week. So it's not like we don't build things.
Well, they're all, unfortunately, but he literally mentioned 3 whole criminals. Okay. So I don't know what they're talking about. What he's talking about.
When we do build things, something always ends up seeming to happening. And in spite of that,
how he has that defeatist or defeated mentality. I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from as far as like he's saying basically Black men don't get a good chance, but that's not a Black woman's problem, really. Quite honestly, be honest with you, it's not your problem. Because Black women who give Black men a chance, okay, end up like the poet did, the woman who was a poet who passed away just recently. Or they end up as one of the 40% that report DV. Or on the back of a milk crate. So this is a major problem. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
That in spite of that, you've seen the most Black business male ownership that's gone up in the last 60 years since the coronavirus. We still doing it. I personally got 3 businesses, so I don't know what you're talking about. I
I hate when they make it personal like that. By stats, we don't have businesses. I can't drive around my neighborhood and see and go to a store and it be black owned. I just don't. It's rare. I think I can think of a soul food restaurant. That's how bad it is. In a mixed community, I can count maybe 4 businesses when there's like 4,000 businesses.
Yes, I have to admit DJ Torch is very rare. Black businesses, even in the black community. And I apologize for my voice. I'm a little under the weather.
No problem.
But, you are correct that in the black community, even in the black community, excuse me, that black businesses are quite rare.
Yeah, shout out to Natural Kish in the house. VM is in the house. Rap Girl is in the house. Mistress Newbie is in the house. Rap Girl says this. DJ, this is what black men do. They have no accomplishments to list. They have done nothing. And this guy is proving it by complaining. He should be going, oh yeah, my buddy blah, blah, blah has this store and my buddy has this store around the corner. And then I know, 100 black blood brothers around the corner. They got this part of the town, nope. He's content. He's complaining about gangs, right, run by black males, by the way, okay, that are controlling everything. So he's basically unconsciously agreeing with Cynthia G. That's what he's doing. He just doesn't know it. Mistress Newbie breaks it down just like this. Other races and cultures endured their communities and businesses being destroyed as well by racism, but they rebuilt and thriving. Excuse me. Look, Japan was blown to smithereens. Look at it now. Now they run things. Run anything electronic. Well, I guess it's shifted over to really
It's shifted
China.
to South. Well, it's shifted to China, South Korea, and Taiwan.
Exactly.
Young black
DJ
men.
Torch,
I've helped thousands of.
Go ahead.
I apologize. I just wanted to ask you a question.
Hit me.
How much of it do you feel that it's gentrification that affects black people, the black community, black businesses, and black wealth?
Gentrification is the results of our failure.
I have to disagree. You ever lived in California?
I sure have. Oakland. The gentrification central of probably the United States.
Yeah, I used to live in Vallejo, and like one of the things I noticed, I used to go to San Francisco all the time. That's where I used to go, even as a kid to my young adult years. And what I noticed was gentrification, like literally the black community. It was like all the drugs, everything was all. It seemed to be kind of. I'm not going to say the term allowed, but it was like police wouldn't do anything to help clean up and police the communities as black communities. I remember Hunters Point. Hunters Point used to be a black community at one time.
Oh yeah, it did. Especially in the 80s, late 90s,
yeah,
mid 90s. Yep.
You had the portion of the Tenderloin district that used to be a black community, and it was like, and what they did was they moved all the projects and things of that nature. While I was up there, they moved it out into the suburbs. They moved it out into like Vallejo, Fairfield, other communities. It's like they were moving black people. And this is just my opinion, but the state of California, for example, is a prime example of racism and how it affects the black community. How they move us. They basically they lower the the property values. When white people want an area, they move black people or criminal people into those areas, bring down the property values. You know, then they shut down the projects. They shut down Section 8 and then move them elsewhere. Meanwhile, white people are buying them. And I saw this in Fairfield. That's where my mom lived in the Bay Area. I saw this in Fairfield where they built projects, brand new projects. They built them. And those projects were people from San Francisco. They were people from San Francisco that moved. They forced relocated into Fairfield. It was by the mall, Solano
Okay.
Mall.
But the thing is this. What I understand what you're saying, but the thing is this. We didn't support each other back then.
I mean, I agree with that. You know,
And that, I mean, and in addition, basically the thing is this. He right there already said the problem was the gangs, right?
Yes.
So that was our problem. That was our gentrification money.
Yeah.
We had a chance. We had a chance not to have gangs and to flourish.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the government did everything right, because damn, they didn't. But the bottom line is this: is that quite honestly, if we put down the guns and picked up some hammers and nails, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
There would be a different result. So wait, think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
How much does guns and funerals cost versus hammers, nails, lumber? You see where I'm coming from?
Yes. As far as firearms, it depends on what you're
Probably
looking
about
for.
the same, right? If not less.
Yes. Yes, probably about the same. I'm not gonna lie. I had my eye on a Scar 17S. They want $5,000 for it.
Well, there you go. That'll, you know something? $5,000. That'll buy you a tiny house. You know?
Depends. Yeah, depends where you're at.
Yeah, right. But you see where I'm coming from, right?
Yes.
And especially
Yes.
back then in the 80s, that'll get your house started. So I understand what you're saying, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's like we didn't invest in building. We invested in drugs. We invested in guns. We invested in beefs. We still do today.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what happened is that it took a long time to happen. Gentrification took a long time. It took a long time to happen. Started happening maybe 15 years ago in the Bay, in the Bay Area?
The earliest I remember it was about 20 years ago. That was but keep in mind, I was a young adult.
I think it was 97, 98. No, 96, no, 95. Because I remember I remember when they started building out Emeryville. You know, Emeryville used to be a ghost town. Then they started building out and putting stores in there, big stores. And then IKEA was there, you know. So it started getting built out over there. But we could have got in on it. But we were doing what we were doing.
I mean,
I'm frustrated with it too.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I mean, you are correct. I mean, there are those, especially in Black culture, the fast money. I like to call it the fast money lifestyle, i.e., selling drugs. That is a problem, you know, in our community. You know, we want to get rich quick, you know, versus working hard and
right. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me get back into this. Here we go.
Yes.
Black children here in South Central LA. So all this black men ain't doing nothing. Where are you kicking it at?
Okay, let me fix this. There's not nearly enough black men doing anything. There might be some black men doing something, but obviously not enough. Because look at, look at this. Okay, look at the way the community is right now. If there were enough black men, okay, doing what we needed to do, then we wouldn't all be talking about getting out of our communities and moving to somebody else's community. We would be perfectly happy where we're at, and that's not happening. So the proof is in what they call the proverbial pudding. That's what's going down.
I'm not sure where Sister Cynthia took history class, but if you know anything about the transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was
I'm
not
talking
an
about the
African
sub-Saharan.
enterprise.
I'm talking about the sub-Saharan slave trade. You should go.
Let me pause it right now. Jeez, it just hit me. So the manosphere is 90% about dating and sex. I wouldn't even say relationships, because really the goal is to get sex. See, for a change in our community, we would need the manosphere, who says they represent the population of black men in America, to be at least 75% community building and 25% relationships, not sex. Okay, and then throw in 3 or 4%, bring it down to 23%, 3 or 4% for sex. How about that? But it's not that. Their priority is controlling women and getting sex. So if they represent the black men in the community, well, there you go.
Yes, there is that element of sex and controlling women within the red pill or the black manosphere space. I do acknowledge that, but at the same time, it's like there's also an issue with other things within the community that it is trying to address. The only problem is you have people, as I'm slowly finding out about Black YouTube, for example, everybody views this as entertainment.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear about, okay, we got a problem, we need to fix it.
So what you're saying is that they don't want to, it's not a cultural platform, which it should be, because what's ironic and weird about that is I've seen there's more of a cultural platform for the people who really don't need it to be a cultural platform, which is other races of people. They actually have more cultural relationship based content than what happens in the black manosphere. I mean, the thing is that I'm really trying to put a partition between relationship and seeking sexual partners, because that seems to be the goal. Otherwise, why would you want to rate women's looks from 1 to 10? Let me read this real quick. Emeryville, this Atlas Uncovered saying that Emeryville, only thing ever came out of Emeryville were steers and queers. Actually, Emeryville is bomb, to be honest with you. It's money now. It's money now. It's I won't say it's high end, but it's moderately. No, it is actually. It's right near the water.
Yeah.
What was the name? I can't remember the name of the it's not really a mall, but there's a theater there. What was the name of it? I forgot.
Remember.
There's the one that's right near IKEA, but yeah, IKEA started it up over there and they got down. That's like a number one spot where everybody goes now.
Yeah, that's how especially if you're starting your first apartment or home, for example, you go to IKEA. Furniture, they got the best deals on furniture.
Yep, and there's a furniture alternative in the mall as well. There's a burger place, if I remember going there. There's a theater, and then there was a food court, but who knows what it is now. They probably tore it up and put some condos there, I would bet. Here we go, folks.
Look into it.
Excuse me.
Well, you address me,
May I
Umar.
finish?
Go look into
May
the
I
sub-Saharan slave trade where black
May I
men are
finish? I
trading
don't want
their
a
women
monologue.
and
May I
children
finish?
for alcohol
I
and
do not want a
tobacco.
monologue. May I finish? May I
Go ahead,
finish
Dr.
my
Umar.
thought? The transatlantic
Yeah,
slave
whoever made the mention about the moderator, she is biased as heck.
trade was a European enterprise. It was not an African enterprise. Although there were some chiefs who participated in it, by no means did they control the direction and extension of the transatlantic slave trade. So that's number one.
I do agree with him there.
Black men resisted enslavement, not only on the shores of Africa, but right here in America. We celebrate Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser. There's literally hundreds.
The problem I have with this whole conversation where it's going now is that this doesn't matter anymore. It is, I mean, there's a point where it is what it is. Okay? This is what we have. Some football games had to be played in the snow. It is what it is. Some football games, they were lucky and it was just cold weather. And it is what it is. We got snowy, cold weather for black men. That's just the way it is. So we can't really complain about the conditions right now. What we need to do is put on another jacket and get down and do what we need to do. There is enough play for us to succeed. But if we're going to spend all our time focused on controlling black women, nope, bad idea. Bad idea.
Documented attempts by African men to liberate not only themselves, but their women and their children. So to act like we just sat there and we're complicit in our own oppression is absolutely
No, the
ridiculous.
complicity came in when we started, when the gangs came around. That was being complicit. That was emulating slavery in a way by having people, men forcibly controlling other men and women and a community with violence and guns.
Well, in the beginning, gangs actually was.
Wait, and then let me stack on top of that. Let me stack on top of that the snitching situation. That didn't help either. Not calling out somebody causing a crime is called snitching now. So that didn't help either.
Correct. But I was just gonna say, in the beginning, gangs in the beginning was meant to help protect the communities. You have to remember, the United States is full of immigrants, and every time people came off the boats, black people, of course, well, we were already here, but we were freed slaves. Like I said, our communities were always under attack. You had the Irish immigrants that would come off the boats. They got attacked.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Polish
So every
immigrants,
immigrant
we had a
got
lot,
attacked.
and basically, they formed gangs in order to protect. Okay, we're tired of getting our butts whipped.
Well, that's not. Wait. Unfortunately, I wish that was the goal of our black brothers, that they were forming gangs to protect us against other people or against other bad people, but they turned into the bad people. That's the problem.
Correct. That's well, you got ahead of me, but that's where I was going. But like, if you research the vice lords of Chicago, for example, the vice lords, they were actually a gang building black communities in Chicago. They had built banks. They built, they were building up the black community of Chicago, giving black people loans. Black people couldn't get a loan worth nothing, back in the day when in the early days. I'm talking the early days of the vice lords, not the vice lords you see today, assuming they're still even around. But
right. Let me read Susie Bear's message real quick. Susie Bear 33 says this: Black men celebrate black men in addition to not protecting black women. They couldn't care less about the women and children being enslaved. That is my whole point. Bars. And it's happening right now. If really, think about it like this. Blueface, Does he care about his women? No, he cares about controlling them. And unfortunately, there's hundreds of thousands of blue faces in every neighborhood. Lady Rindy says this. Let me go up. None of this has anything to do with why Black men, as a collective, are not able to compete or compare with their counterparts. Bars. Bars. That is bars right there. Rika Reed Gaming says this. Wasn't there a town or a little city that some Black women made? I forgot their names, but it was proof that women doing the work to build than some men. Bars. Let me keep this going.
The other point I want to clarify for your information, Cynthia G, you've never, ever heard me condemn the civil rights movement. The good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a hero of mine. And despite me being a Pan-African nationalist.
The problem is he stays back there too long. See, we've been on this Pan-African shit for like 10 minutes already. We need solutions now. We need to modify solutions now. We know what the problem is. We have it memorized in our brain. We need some solutions now.
I take issue with other Black nationalists who do want to dismiss Dr. King's accomplishment. The civil rights movement.
He did a great, there's a day for him and everything. But the problem is we need some answers now, bro. Okay, he got us this far. So why aren't we focusing on those men that are making it harder for us to get where we need to go in our community?
Well, DJ Torch, if I may,
sure.
Earlier, when Dr. Umar had mentioned about he mentioned 3 certain key civil rights leaders: Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King.
I'm getting frustrated with the old school.
Well,
Don't get me wrong. Let me make something clear. I respect the old school to the utmost, but that for right now, it's irrelevant. It won't help us right now. That's the problem. I don't want to go over what Medgar Evers did, or I know all these men put down the problem is this. Okay, he's mad at Cynthia G for stating really a fact. Okay, the problem is that he should be mad at all the men that spit on Medgar Evers' grave, Martin Luther King's grave, by becoming hoodlums and criminals. Those are the ones that he needs to be talking to. He doesn't need to be mad at Cynthia G. Okay?
Well,
he doesn't need to be mad at her. He needs to be mad at the dudes who are messing shit up.
I don't think he's necessarily mad. I think he's just making a statement.
He's mad.
I believe he's just making a statement that, Cynthia G is wrong, and she is, and I apologize to the ladies of the chat, but she is ignorant of history. I have actually spoken to Cynthia G myself. I called into her show 2 years ago, and Cynthia G don't know anything about Black history. I know for a fact.
Okay, how many conversations did you have with her?
Just one.
So you summarize this by one conversation?
Yes.
Then that's really just an assumption.
Well, one conversation.
I mean, like if you said, yeah, she took a test and she failed a history test, then I would lend some relevance to that. But just because your observation is saying that you had a conversation with her and you feel like she failed, you did not. I don't know whether it was on her channel or not.
Yes.
That's your opinion, and you may or may not be right, but it's your opinion.
Well, the thing is, what Dr. Umar and what Cynthia G are going through right now, what you're showing kind of confirms my opinion. Well,
seems like they're going back and forth.
I mean, they are, but to be honest with you, from what I can see from Cynthia G, for example, she appears to be very combative. Uh, she doesn't really mention about she doesn't know much about the slave trade, the slave triangle, which we all know about. I mean,
Wait,
that's history.
wait.
And
What
go ahead.
what gave you that? Wait. What gave you that assumption?
You would have to go back
Okay,
in
did
their
she
video.
did she say anytime in this conversation that I don't know what you're talking about?
No, but some people that don't know what they're talking about, some people like to pretend like they know what they're talking about. So they'll never admit I don't know. They'll never admit that they don't know or anything like that. They just sometimes they'll come off as a little
Okay,
arrogant.
good. Mr. Snoopy put up a good point. So what specifically is she saying wrong, Darnell?
Specifically, like for example, when I brought up the three the three civil rights leaders, that were slain.
Okay, what about them?
Okay, the thing is that they, like Dr. Umar was right that there were black men back in the '60s that were doing it. According to Cynthia G, oh, that's not true, but that's a lie.
Wait, say it again.
The three black civil rights leaders.
Okay.
I apologize for my voice. But the three civil rights leaders that were slain. Dr. Umar was like, "Hey, these were black men that were trying to build the community. They lost their lives in the process." And Cynthia G was like, "Oh, they weren't really trying to build the black community. They weren't
I didn't
doing
hear
anything."
that.
Yeah.
Where? She didn't say
You
that.
have to go back. You have to go back in the tape.
Slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was
I'm
not
talking
an
about the
African enterprise.
sub-Saharans.
And
I'm talking about the
Right.
sub-Saharans slave trade. You should go look
Now,
into
right,
it.
Excuse me.
now, right there,
Well,
right there, right
you
there.
addressed me,
May I
Umar.
finish?
Go look into
May
the
I finish?
sub-Saharan slave trade where black
May
men
I
were
finish? I
trading
don't want
their
a
women
monologue.
and
May I
children
finish?
for
I
alcohol
do
and
not want a
tobacco.
monologue. May I finish? May I
Go ahead,
finish
Dr.
my
Umar.
thought? The transatlantic slave trade was a European enterprise. It was not an African enterprise. Although there were some chiefs who participated in it, by no means did they control the direction and extension of the transatlantic slave trade. So that's number one. Number two, black men resisted enslavement, not only on the shores of Africa, but right here in America. We celebrate Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser. There's literally hundreds of documented attempts by African men to liberate not only themselves, but their women and their children. So to act like we just sat there and were complicit in our own oppression is absolutely ridiculous. The other point I want to clarify for your information, Cynthia G, you've never, ever heard me condemn the civil rights movement. The good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a hero of mine. And despite me being a Pan-African nationalist, I take issue with other black nationalists who do want to dismiss Dr. King's accomplishment. The civil rights movement was necessary.
How did he get to dismissing King's civil rights movement?
You'd have to go earlier in the
When she said that black men were focused on getting the rights so they can sleep with white women. Is that your argument?
Correct. Like, in fact, I even posted in the chat earlier.
But I mean, isn't there some
What-
truth
what-
to that?
No. In fact, I even posted in the chat earlier. Well, excuse me. Let me correct my previous statement when to your question. There is some truth to what you just said. I apologize. I'm wrong. You're right. There is some truth to there are black men that wanted to marry white women. But in the chat just earlier, I posted, about Loving, a Supreme Court case, Loving 1969, Loving versus the state of Virginia. Loving was a white man trying to marry a black woman. That's the
Right.
Supreme Court case that has officially allowed interracial marriage across the continent, all 50 states. That is the Supreme Court. It wasn't a black man. Loving versus Virginia
I
was
think
not a
I
black
think you need to look back because there was more than one case in more than one time, and one was a white
Of
man who wanted to marry a black woman, and then a black man who wanted to marry a white woman.
Yes, that's true. Again,
It's not the
that's
same.
true.
They're not the same cases.
I'm aware of that, but what I'm saying is that what Cynthia G is saying is like black men just we just fought the civil rights movement to marry white women. That's not true. She's oversimplifying the facts. It may as well be.
I mean, I believe what she's trying to say is that black men put a lot of priority into that.
I mean, again, I disagree. Again, the Supreme Court case that officially allowed interracial marriage involved a black woman attempting to marry a white man. That's the official Supreme Court case. Were there cases before? Yes. But none of those succeeded.
To the stage, Rat Girl, welcome to the stage. By the way, your cam is on. If I'm not sure if you know that, but it's on. It's fine. But I'm just letting you know. Hello. Oops. Okay, let me play a little bit more of this. Oh, there she is. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Hello?
I'm not sure why I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? Not sure why I can't hear
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yes, you hear me now? Yes, ma'am, but there's
Well,
double
I'll just
talk.
play it on my TV.
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me now?
Well, I'll just play it on my TV.
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna play some more tape. Here we go. Let me know, Rat Girl, just let me know when you're ready.
It removed a psychological scar that suggested of racial inferiority. So you've never heard me deride the civil rights movement. I support it, although I took certain issues with it. The bottom line is when black women, black girls, black boys listen to this conversation we're having today, they're going to be confused because they hear
Kelsey, I'm confused because I don't know why we're on the slave trade. What about the slave trade is going to help us? I mean, really, quite honestly, I mean, the thing is that, man, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Rat Girl, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Feel free to jump in anytime. I'm confused why they got into this slave trade, Martin Luther King thing, when really I don't know how
Just a
much that
second.
applies to today.
Well, I think it's important, actually, if I may.
Yeah, Rat Girl, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I had to turn off the YouTubes. I was using my phone. So it is well documented that the so-called civil rights leaders were seeking the safety of law to have relationships with white women. They were tired of getting lynched for it, and that's really what it was about. They've written about it. People have talked about it for decades. Quincy Jones himself said that being with a white woman was liberation. Also, if access to white women were not the goal, can you tell me why nothing has happened since the year before I was born, which is 1968? Black males always want to go back to that time period as though things have changed, improved, gotten better, and that they have fought for things. And that is not the case. Cynthia G asked Umar, what have Black men fought for and done since the civil rights movement?
Bars.
That was the question that she asked. Also, it was about, I see Indiana Mom's comment. It was about 15 years after slavery ended that I believe the first case was Pace v. Alabama, where a Black male petitioned to be with the white woman he was with because they both went to jail for it. There are two other cases. Another case in California, I do not remember the name of it, maybe two cases in California. When Loving v. Virginia, and Mrs. Loving was biracial, by the way. When Loving v. Virginia came about, they used these three previous cases as precedent, as the basis for loving to move forward. They had the precedence of Black males going to the courts to get access to white women. Loving v. Virginia may not have happened without those first precedents. Again, the first one between 15 and 20 years after slavery ended. This has been Black males' focus for centuries. This is how we became enslaved in the first place. Dig into what the Moors were doing with their time.
May I respond?
Sure.
Okay, so you said Loving versus Virginia. What year did Loving versus Virginia take place?
Don't matter. I don't recall. The point
Okay,
is,
okay.
it
Oh, that's
came
fine.
decades
That's fine.
after Black males
Mhm.
first went to the courts to get access to white women. That's the
Okay,
point.
and you said Miss Virginia. The Black woman you said is Miss Virginia. Is that correct?
I said Loving. Mrs. Loving was biracial, not Black.
No, that's not true.
It
In
is
fact,
true. Go read
it
her
was
history. Go read
it
her
was
history.
it was Mr. Loving.
Okay, what's her?
Mr. Loving is white.
Correct.
His wife was biracial.
Which technically they weren't legally married in the state of Virginia. Which
Again,
means,
the point is their case was based on precedent set decades prior by
but
Black males.
in those precedences, all of those cases all failed. Hence,
It
why
doesn't matter. You
that
don't
no,
set
it does matter.
precedent
It does matter.
through
Hold on a second.
winning a case. The
Hold on.
precedent is
Yes,
set by
that
the
is
case
that,
getting heard.
that's not true. You set
It
precedents
is
by
true.
winning a case. You set precedents by winning the case.
I don't know why I come up here, but
I.e., Plessy versus Ferguson, for example. All right, Plessy versus Ferguson. That set the precedence for the Jim Crow era South, because the Supreme Court ruled against Plessy, a man that was 7/8 white, 1/8
We know
black.
that. The point is, if
You
you
know, so
read Loving v. Virginia, and the fact that they referenced these cases as precedent, and these cases were considered in the decision of the court, regardless
no,
of their having been unsuccessful, they set the precedent for Loving v. Virginia to take place.
no, ma'am. That's not.
How did Loving v. Virginia happen? How did Loving v. Virginia happen? And how did the case files reference these previous cases if it weren't based on that?
It was declared unconstitutional.
It doesn't matter how it was declared. Loving v. Virginia happened, and they referenced these other cases. Period.
Yes,
it does
I'm sure
not
they referenced
matter. It does not matter that the previous cases were not successful.
That's going back and forth.
So,
This is not circles.
Wait, Darnell, you don't
yes,
have
sir.
to win a case for it to make president.
But,
Okay, as far as I wanted to clarify Mildred's race. She's culturally Native American, but she has Cherokees, Portuguese, and African American ancestry. So she is.
So that is considered the one drop rule that they labeled.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Correct.
And
Correct.
the problem is conversation, and I had this conversation with a few pro blacks, as you know, DJ Torch.
Oh no. Okay.
Hello. Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hold on.
No. Give them the floor for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah. They think that because with the white man label that we don't follow. I agree, but the problem is we live in America, and if they set the rules, unfortunately, we have to abide by their little so-called rules. Regardless, black people say you're not black, and it goes back to more confusion. You get me?
Right, but basically, what Rat Girl's point was that she made it clear that she was mixed, and I mean, she's not only
exactly
mixed, she's super mixed. I mean,
but
She's
And
got.
again, the point is, none of that is relevant. The case on which Loving v. Virginia were based were the previous cases brought to the courts by Black males. That
But
is the point, period, point blank, the end. DJ,
well, no,
I would
ma'am, it's
like to
not point
thank
blank.
you for having me up. I just was annoyed and I've had enough. I don't argue with Black males. I don't argue with males, period. But DJ, I love your content. You are in that 1% of Black males who happens to be a man, and I appreciate you. Good night.
Thank you, Rat Girl.
DJ Torch, may I respond? I know she's gone, but may I respond?
No, I got to give Chaos Reign some time, and then after you
No,
talk.
I'm let me follow his response. That's
okay.
They were clarify that. Go ahead, respond.
Is that okay with you, DJ Torch?
Yeah, go for it.
So I just want to say that's not the case. Basically, I understand what she's saying. Yes, there were other previous cases prior to Loving v. Virginia. There were previous cases. However, what I'm saying is that these other cases obviously did not work. Remember, every state had a right. There were certain states, i.e., the state of Virginia, for example.
That's not the point she was arguing. The point is, what she was trying to say is that you don't set precedent by just winning a case.
No, you do. Again, I mean, how did the 1/8 rule come about? It was a precedent by Plessy v. Ferguson.
Let me look up what you're referring to. Hold on.
Plessy v. Ferguson. Plessy was a man. He was 7/8 white, 1/8 Black. Ferguson, I believe, was either a railroad company or.
What's his first name?
I can't remember his first name, but the case is Plessy v.
Oh gosh,
Ferguson.
man, brother.
1897. Might have been 1896, 1897.
Yeah, but you have to be precise, because if you're trying to defend a claim, you have to at least have the actual information enough so we could look it up personally.
Well, yes, just type in Supreme Court case.
When you type Supreme Court, you're gonna get many hits about certain cases.
He has it up. I think he has it up right now.
Okay, so what are you saying about this Homer? Is it Homer Plessy?
That might have been his first name. Yes, Plessy v. Ferguson. It should be 1896, 1897 time frame.
Okay, so what happened here?
So what happens is Plessy is a man that is 7/8 white, 1/8 Black. He boards a white-only train car. They said, "Sir, you have to go to the colored-only section, to the Negro or colored section."
Okay, so what does this have to do with the marriage?
So you're saying the guy, this white dude is actually mulatto? Is that your claim? He's mulatto?
No, what I'm saying is what established the 1/8 rule. This is a case that was precedent. In other words, Plessy lost, right?
No, how did we get this from the relationship thing?
I don't understand where this is
because
going,
hold on a second, because DJ Torch, you made a statement that, and so did Rack. I'm sorry, whatever her name was. I apologize. But
Nubia.
No, I understand what you're trying to say, but we weren't going by that. We were going by the facts that she's definitely fucking mixed.
No, well, that's
what we were going by. We weren't going by some. But I understand what you're trying to say now, but what we're trying to say is that basically she was mixed.
She was mixed.
And
but
what you're saying is that the United States was classifying her as Black.
Correct. That's true. But what I'm saying earlier, you had said that Supreme Court cases, you don't have to win to set a precedent. That's not true. This is a Supreme Court case that set a precedent.
Okay, I can't keep on this.
Yeah. Let's keep moving forward, because this is now I'm confused. I'm getting confused now.
Well, where's the confusion?
Speaking of a greater context of the problems that affect Black men, and you hear two intelligent, beautiful Black women who want to keep scapegoating Black men while ignoring the historical and contemporary systemic challenges that are constantly placed in our way. I'm gonna say this and be quiet, Sister Tanya. I gotta give you this.
But see, this is the problem I have. I understand that we have issues. We have some freaking issues with, fair employment and a lot of stuff like that. But it's not like black women were like, he's acting like black women were absolved of that. It's just as bad for them, if not worse.
There was a recent piece of research, Tammy, that came out. And the research said a black man with a master's degree, they did a study. They had white males who had come out of prison apply for jobs. They had black men with master's degrees, Sister Tammy, apply for the jobs. And guess what? The white males with prison history and no education were called back more than 75% of the
Yeah,
time.
we know that, but that doesn't, see, that's the problem I'm having right now. I know that's a problem. So that's the point I'm trying to make about this whole thing is why are black men worried about black women when black women are definitely not your problem? But they make it a point to make black women their problem when the problem is really everything else. Jobs, opportunity, money, because of jobs and opportunity, connections. We don't have that wealth built up. So I understand what we're going through. The problem is that on top of having these problems, then we're becoming problems for our own women. That's the problem I have. We're becoming a problem for our own women. I understand there are women that might not behave well or whatever, but that's irrelevant because number one, there's enough extra women that a man does not even have to deal with a woman they don't want to deal with. So if a man is dealing with a woman they want to deal with, it's because they want to deal with a woman they don't want to deal with. That's the problem I'm having with this conversation he's having. Cynthia G is more cut to the chase. It's like, look, even if the United States, if the United States gave black men everything we needed to be successful, we still wouldn't be successful, not in the first 10 years, because we've already been brainwashed into failing. And that's the problem. We need to break
It's
that.
actually more than 10 years. It's been like a whole century.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Once we were like we go back to the 1800s, we had things, but as time break down and then they start to integrate us, we just flipped the switch and said it was no longer needed to have or do our own.
Right.
And that's where the danger arrives. My thing is this: integration and the Message laws broken has destroyed Black America for over 50 years now. 50 years.
I wouldn't think so. No, I don't think so.
And the reason why I say this personally, because now we're not at a place in America where we're at a proper prominence. So at that time, we had business, we work amongst each other where the money stayed in to a degree. But after a while, to really get through, you have to be able to have other people, spend money with us. And that's where the problem became. You get me? And if you look at, you remember the documentary DJ Torch called How to Sell to a Negro? They're monitoring how much money we were gathering for the first 10 years after the 40s. You get me? When
okay,
America
I can get this. This I will agree with you on as this aspect. Our what I call it? Our obsession with being accepted by other races, which is really integration in a way, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Is destroyed us because we were trying to we were trying to fit in with them so hard. We were spending extra money we didn't need to spend.
There you go.
In our communities
to be like them. So now we're like, and that's where our downfall. And the things that we had in place. Remember, to have businesses, people have to with your business, yes. But after all, you scale up. You get these courses where you have to everybody start spending money, where you're now competing at a more higher level. And that was a fear back in the 50s. Because imagine if you have business and you're doing it well enough. It only takes, let's say, maybe over 10 years or maybe less to have a corporation. Come here, most business you see in America corporatized early part. And now we look at so embedded with the government, they actually have more control established back in the early 20th century. Am I broke up?
Yeah, your mic kind of broke up a little bit.
The one thing I was trying to say this. Oh God. Let me jump.
No, I just asked to repeat. You broke up. I just asked you to repeat. That's all. I apologize. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, I just jumped down because the internet's acting up now.
Okay. Thank you for your time. All right, let's play the tail end of this. Darnell, here we go.
They're black men with no prison history and a master's degree.
I'm
How
aware
you
of
gonna
that.
ignore white
I am
supremacy?
aware of that of that survey.
Okay, let me. That's it. So basically, the thing is this. It sounds like to me that I mean, the bottom line is this. Okay, let me read May's thing. Umar is, I want to try to get this PG so I can get some more points, but he hit on that, that woman, okay, and when he turned him down, he said he didn't know he was. TG, what a fraud. He pretends to hate the LGBTQ, but I get it. So May is a fat Albert's sister is basically saying that Umar likes his likes variety. Let's just put it that way.
Is my mic breaking up still? It's probably gonna start doing this.
Okay, you good now?
I'm having I'm in internet issues. The point I'm trying to say is this.
Go ahead.
Let me know. The point I'm saying is this: Black people had some, they didn't maintain it. When they start integrating, that's when they we could say drop the ball more. And because these people made a more better chess move because they know where the money was going, it kind of favors them. That if you integrate everything, including the bus lines, all these small business that could be monopolize the market. Even now, if you look at the market as it stands, really what they're trying to do, Detroit, is try to have one solid market for every juncture. So there's no more competition.
Right.
All you see that led to up to the 60s to now, one juncture of a market that controls every chain. Do you understand me?
I do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Yeah.
May I respond?
Go for it.
Well, sir. I mean that's all very interesting, but you're negating the facts that even after slavery, like when Black people migrated out of the South, moved out west, to built towns and things. White people saw what we built, they wanted it, they took it. They could. The railroads, they were all went through Black towns. The Interstate Highway Act that built the freeways that we see today, the interstate highway system today, they all went through Black communities. White men, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Every time we built something, the white man saw what we built. Oh no, you Negroes can't have that, and they took it.
Actually, to reiterate, there's actually an article that talk about the Black Wall Street. It was demolished, but they 70s when they built the highway.
I'm sorry, you
dropped out again.
Actually, the highway in the 70s for most of these areas.
Well, Black Wall Street was 1920s. It was burned down in 1920.
Yeah, but you understand, brother, it was destroyed, but they rebuilt. They rebuilt it. They just didn't talk about that. The only thing that killed it completely was the highway of the 70s. I have an article that talk about the Oklahoma destruction. What happened after that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I'd have to look at it and
if I find it, I'll put it in the back chat. Let me see if I still got it.
Yes, sir.
Keep playing it.
But
I gotta find it now.
I'm gonna play that because somebody was addressing that Dr. Umar was hitting on a woman who was trans. I guess it was the host, and she turned him down. And
you mean the person that was on the panel?
Yeah, the panel woman. I guess the one that was in the middle next. I guess Let me go back. I assume it's, wait. I assume it's this woman right here.
She married.
So I guess it's in this woman here.
Oh.
Here, let me
she's
just play
married.
the tape back. Let me play his tape back. Here we go.
To know that I'm on a panel with a surgically altered black man. Because if I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man, if I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man, my conversation might have been different. My analysis might have been different. My critique might have been different. My insight might have been different. You want to bring a surgically altered male to the conversation? No worries, because intellectually, nobody can handle me.
I have to pause it right there, and I'll tell you why. If he was so intellectual, why didn't he figure it out that this person was transgender before? If you're so smart, right? You'd think he would have done like some, historical look, Googled,
You mean a
everybody.
background check?
Yep, there you go. He didn't even have to do a background check. All he had to do is just Google the person's name. I mean, these people, everybody on the panel was at least fairly, famous, right? I mean, so all he had to do is Google those people, and it would have came up. So that's what got me here. Was like he's trying to say, like, oh, I'm so smart and such a genius, but I couldn't even figure out that this person was trans. And that's okay, but don't say you're super smart and a genius if you can't figure out a person who you are on stage with at all. That's the thing. It didn't even matter that the person is trans or not. The thing that matters is that he acted like he was a genius, and most geniuses would have found out who was on the panel. They were on the panel with.
To the conversation, no worries, because intellectually, nobody can handle me. Intellectually, nobody can handle me. So if you want to bring a surgically altered male, no disrespect, but don't you think you have a right to tell me?
Don't you ever think, I mean, again, I'm sure you knew the names of the people that are going to be on the show. It's not their fault you didn't do any research. If let's say somebody like, I don't know, Obsidian called me to the show, I'm going to at least find out who he is if I don't know who he is. Because this is what Umar is claiming. He's claiming he knows nothing about this person at all. Oh, okay. Upper left. Okay, so it was this woman right here. Let me go back over. But yeah, so if he hit on her, fine. I don't care. Nobody cares, but don't act like you're smart if you feel like you were fooled or whatever.
Are black men.
So it's not her, right? So it's this person who didn't say a damn thing.
Where is it?
This person right here, right? She didn't say anything. So what is he talking about? Umar got on an affirmative action and a grading curve for sure. I don't get it. Maya's fat Albert's sister says he knew because she said Umar tried to hit and she shot him down. All these Pan-Africanists are extremely suspect. Just come out already. Oh, well. So let me just play I'm going to play their little rant at the beginning. Right there.
Hi, yes or no? Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Are black men? Is there a war being waged against black men? First of all, I want to see where you all stand just by a yes or no. Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Duan?
Absolutely, yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that Black men are waging against the Black community.
Some truth to it, but I think.
Okay. Does anybody disagree with what she just said?
Replay your statement just one more time, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Are Black men? Is there a war being waged against Black men? First of all, I want to see where you all stand just by a yes or no. Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Duan?
Absolutely, yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
The only war is the war that Black men are waging against the Black community.
Some truth to it, but I think that truth is.
I don't know why I got this stupid.
Yes, yes, I disagree with her statement. It's not just Black men waging a war on the Black community. That's just blatantly false, and history would be on our side, and that's why I keep saying Cynthia G knows nothing about history.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Black men are not waging war on our community. Is that correct?
I'm not saying Black men aren't. I am saying that because the original question was, is it only Black men? And it's not.
Let me play it again.
Are Black men? Is there a war being waged against Black men? First of all, I want to see where you all stand just by a yes or no. Dr. Umar, is there? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Hope, is there?
No.
Duan?
Absolutely, yes.
Cynthia G, where are you on this?
Right here.
The only war is the war that Black men are waging against the Black community.
Right here. She just said only
Okay,
Black
wait.
men.
I heard what she said. I was right here. Let me break something down to you. Let me break something down real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who are Black men battling against the most in the community?
All right. So that's not it.
You're asking me, or
I'm asking you.
I hate my internet
I'll be honest with you. I mean, we are fighting the war on all fronts. That's just the honest to God truth.
Okay, so who's deleting us the most?
Black men.
Okay, who's deleting Black women the most?
Black men.
So who's winning the war against the Black community?
I would say the whites.
How?
Well, think about it. You know, we're losing our wealth. We don't own, every bad demographic.
So what you're saying, it sounds like to me, you're saying that other races are winning whatever war you want to call it financially.
Well, earlier,
because the confusion I have is this, and I'm glad we're having this discussion. Let me ask you a different way. If we weren't putting each other down every hour and our women down every 4.5 hours, right? And we were putting that energy into something different and into something positive, right? Do you think we would be doing better in our community?
we would be doing somewhat better, yes.
You only think
But
somewhat?
yes.
What's the
Yes.
worst? What is our biggest threat in our community right now?
Outside influence.
So they're telling us to put each other down and to
Not
buy
necessarily.
drugs and to make each other pregnant. That's what they're doing.
Not necessarily, but here's the fact that you're omitting is that if a lady is still is in the chat, she can confirm. But like I said, a liquor store on every corner in Detroit. Black people didn't own those liquor stores. The Arabs.
Okay, so how did that happen?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I just saw the aftermath, as a child living in Detroit. You know, you and I spoke earlier about the Bay Area, about gentrification. You know,
Okay.
Again, liquor stores. Why is it in black communities
Okay, so
only
you're
liquor stores?
telling me, so what you're saying is this, is that if the other cultures gave us everything we wanted, we would be doing better than if, and we would stop, wanting each other, and we would stop making each other pregnant, and we would stop deleting women at 4.5. Is that what you're saying?
Before I answer that, I'll make a mental note. But before I answer that, may I just say something before I answer that?
Sure. Yeah.
So the only thing I just wanted to finish up on was also you have to remember the crack epidemic, which DJ Torch, you know the crack epidemic better than I do. It was in the black community. Remember, cocaine is a lot expensive.
Okay. And I understand that you're going to say something about like the government put it there and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, you got ahead of me.
Okay. So basically the thing is that I understand that, but there's a certain level of responsibility we have to take ourselves.
I agree with that. There is. But it goes to my point about outside influence.
Right. I mean, Dr. Umar is pretty smart. I mean, so if somebody plops some cocaine in front of him, he's going to go, F you, don't, and either burn the cocaine or whatever and get rid of it, right? But unfortunately, we didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, we
didn't do that, and then we come over to the gangs, which are all male run, correct?
Yes.
So I understand what you're saying. Let's put it this way: it's kind of like the outside influences are nudging us to do wrong. Would that be accurate?
It is, but DJ Torch,
they're nudging us, and I understand that, and that makes a lot of sense. And in some ways, it might even be a pretty strong nudge, but they don't force us. They don't put a gun to our head and say, snort this, or you guys form a gang, or we're gonna, delete you. They don't say stuff like that. They might be cunning, or they might have some sneaky ways of whatever, right? But the bottom line is, do we take the bait or not?
That's correct. But DJ Torch, may I ask you a couple questions here?
Sure.
You said you lived in Oakland, correct?
Sure did. Yep.
You're familiar with Vallejo?
Yes, I am.
Highway 37 and Marine World Parkway. I used to live there.
Yeah, that was a hood.
That was a hood. Now, in talking with me, do you believe I'm a hood dude?
No. How long did you live there?
Not long. My mom kicked me out of the house, and that's why I moved.
How long were you there?
I was there. She kicked me out. 2004. I was there for about 6 months.
Okay, so you weren't really there.
No, but I was there long enough.
You were there long enough to know it was a hood. Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you going with this?
The only thing is that okay, there are black men out there that do resist those temptations. I was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there are black men that resist, of course, because if there weren't, we'd be gone by now.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah, most definitely.
But unfortunately, there are a lot of black men and black women that can't resist the temptations of the hood.
Right. What were the gangs that sold the drugs? Who were they mostly comprised of?
The gangs that sold the drugs. You're talking about the
men or women?
Mostly men.
Okay. Were they leading? Were they leading us in the right direction?
No, sir.
So then that brings us back to Cynthia G's argument, right? Where basically she was asking that we were the biggest threat to the community, which initially, at least, we're the first wave. I understand, you know what I mean? I know there's a second wave of let's say, puppet masters, right? That's what I think what you're calling the other people, because they weren't shooting us in our own community. Okay. So they
No.
must have been puppet masters, right?
They gave us the tool.
But those puppet masters, without having the men of the mentality that we had in our gangs, in our communities, that wouldn't have happened, right? If they were woke like you, if they were, well, woke like you, or woke like me, or woke like Umar, where it's like, no, we're not going to do this, then that issue is not going to happen because we're going to say no, right?
If 100% of us, or at least 90%.
I mean, it didn't need it. I mean, the problem is that it was almost like it was just 50-50. That's the problem. And it got worse and it dropped from there.
Yes. Like I said,
mean,
I blame the crack epidemic. You know, you had Ronald Reagan. He basically declared war on black people. You know, ending affirmative action, for example. You know,
right?
Where it used to be where we had to be considered for employment. Now you didn't have to consider black people for employment.
Right.
You know, things. Things of that nature. So it's like, okay, we're out of money. We can't make money. We can't build. What am I going to do? I'm going to, let me, do something to relieve my pain. Like I said, unfortunately, one of the drugs I suffer from is alcohol.
Right.
It's something that.
So you fell into it, because think about it like this. And I'm gonna play this clip. One, you had to buy it. So not only are you drinking poison, but you're buying it too.
Yeah.
Okay. It's controlling you. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means they're controlling you.
Yeah.
Right. So the question is, what are you going to do about it, man? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not just you. It's a question to pose to thousands of men with thousands of issues. You see what I'm saying? With millions of men, really, millions of issues. Let me play this clip here. All right, everybody, here we go.
Talking about Black men who love seeing Black women struggle when it comes to love and luxury.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Let me give the girls some hope and tell y'all my testimony, okay? So my boyfriend and I met when we were in college, but we got into a committed relationship after we both graduated. After he graduated, he moved to Dallas for an amazing job offer, y'all. An amazing job offer that is like his dream job. But me, on the other hand, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I'm still in Virginia at this time, working job after job, changing my career about 10 different times, trying to figure out what the heck is my passion. So y'all, one day I was on the phone with him, getting ready for work, but I was also just venting to him about how unhappy I was, y'all. Like, I was just like, babe, I need to change the speed. I need to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. I have so much more to offer to this world than to be working at this 9 to 5. Now I'm at work doing my everyday duties, and my manager tells me to come to the back because my husband is on the phone. I'm thinking in my head, Boogie, I don't have a husband. So I go to the back to answer the phone, and it's my man. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, babe, what's wrong? Like, I'm at work. So he's just like, do you want today to be your last day at work? Child, the man didn't have to repeat himself. He didn't have to say it louder because I was already with it. Okay. The answer is yes. He was like, so go ahead and clock out for me. This man got me a one-way ticket to Dallas, got movers at my daggone apartment, shipping my stuff over to Dallas. Baby, the man wasn't playing. He paid the fee for me to break my lease. Like, he just had everything taken care of. I felt secure in making the move because, for one, I had a great savings account and I also have 2 degrees. So if all else fails, baby, I can do better by myself. So I'm all settled in now, and we just decided to have a sit down just to talk about our expectations of each other now that we live together. And he literally just told me, The only thing I expect from you is for you to find what your passion is in life. You don't gotta cook, you don't gotta contribute to anything financially. Just figure out what you want out of life. So I told him, like, babe, I think I want to take content creation serious. I might have told him that on a Monday, and I promise y'all that Friday I had a vlogging camera, a new phone, ring lights, vanity sets. Baby, he was not playing. And the biggest thing of all, I complained about the lighting in our old apartment because we didn't have like a lot of natural light. The man moved us into a high rise. Like, I really cannot make this up. I say all that to say this man knew how unhappy I was, so he changed my circumstances. And he also knew my potential, so he invested into my passion. And now I get to wake up every day and talk to a phone and make money. That man wanted to alleviate all my issues so I can just focus on me and what I want out of life. And that's a beautiful Black king right there. It's been 4 years now. We've gone to couples therapy. We're constantly working on the quality of our relationship, and we just are obsessed with each other. And I just love my man. Do not lose hope, baby. Your person is out here somewhere, and he gonna come get you. He gonna come get you, Mookie.
So you would think that after hearing her story,
What do y'all think? I'll keep it going. Here we go.
people would be happy for her and, you know, saying that, you know, I'm happy that you found a good man. I'm happy that you found someone who you're both obsessed with each other and you're in a good place in your relationship. But no, the men were not happy. The Black men specifically were not happy because they think that the man is doing too much for her. And I don't know why.
Boom. Boom. Yep. That's that Russell Wilson syndrome. They don't like when a Black man treats a Black woman good. They can't stand it. It gets on their nerves. Let me keep going.
Why things like this bother other men, because that is not your woman. Those are not your circumstances. Maybe you don't even have the means by which to even do that to someone, but they were having problems.
Why is seeing a Black woman live a life full of luxury and leisure so triggering to Black men? A few days ago, I posted a video speaking on my healthy relationship and some of the things that my boyfriend has done for me. And the video has over 8 million views at this point. And most of the negative comments have been Black men. Girl.
Would you guys care to explain why you think that's so? Susie Bear says this: Black men whine and lack accountability. There will always be outside influences, people trying to throw you curveballs. You have to be a critical thinker in order to avoid those things. So, I mean, to me, it's like she's fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, and everything, and doesn't matter. So she was actually a perfect project, a perfect example to show you that these men in the manosphere will never be happy because she did everything her man told her to do. She loves her man. They go to therapy and all that kind of stuff to keep their love happy and everything. And they hate her for it. Because he's not being mean or controlling to her. That's what it is.
Okay, am I back? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there you go. We can hear you now.
Yeah, I found the article for the man. I can't tell what it is because how you structured the studio, who is on the left hand corner. You can read that article. This pretty much details what really went on after the destruction. Because I, like most people, believe that after that, you know, Black people just packed up and left Tulsa and let it be a destitute, but that's not the case. They were able to rebuild. The only thing that killed it was when they put the
went on to something else. Okay.
No, because you asked, and I could really same thing and not find the article. You get me?
Okay.
I got this from another content creator, and I haven't really skimmed through it, but when he explained it, it made more sense because, like I said, the thing that really killed anything in the business was not only integration, but they put the highway. You know, the red line. I didn't know how bad the highway was when they start putting things to go past the community. You get me? So.
Oh, I see. Oh, I got it. I see it. You put it in the back.
Yeah, put it back. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
all.
we went. But yeah,
That's all. That's all. Whatever
we'll
you do.
pass the Tulsa thing. But I tell you what, I'll put this in the mix on another live stream. I'll build something around it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
sir.
we got to get out of this myth that after things white men destroyed, that black people said no. Certain parts of certain towns in the United States, and it's more than just Tulsa. There was towns in North Carolina, some parts, in other states. What they always try to document to us is only Tulsa was the only haven of black excellence, and that is bullshit.
Right.
Hey, sir. May I interject, sir?
Go ahead.
If you have a pen and paper handy, write this down. This is to the other gentleman on the panel, sir. I apologize.
If you have the link, it'd be better to do that. I can't write it right now. I'm multitasking right now. I'm only on my device. I got stuff here. Person. I'm just give you honest opinions. I can't write things down right now. Person.
Okay, no, I understand, sir. The only thing I just wanted you to look up. This is my great grandfather, Anderson Willis. I can't post anything in the link in the chat right now, but I want you to look up the name Anderson Willis. It's my great grandfather. He built basically built a city in Freestone County, Texas.
Okay. I need to move forward with this though.
Yeah, he has to move forward. I mean, we'll have to have a conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
About to go.
Everybody, I want you to give me an opinion why you think, at least in the chat, especially in the chat, give me a real opinion why you think black men are hating on this woman who is fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, did exactly what her man told her to do. Her man told her what she was going to do. She's a super popular YouTuber. Why in the world are they getting? She's doing everything her man wants to do. Why do you think she's getting so much heat? Why do you think she's getting so much heat? Here we go. I'm going to keep it going. Here we go.
Girl, they've been in my comments calling me lazy, a gold digger. I'm worth nothing. I bring nothing to the table. He crazy. I would never have no woman in my house doing nothing. No, babe, you could never. You have to rely on your girlfriend's funds for the rent to get paid on the first. So respectfully, mind your tax bracket and sit this conversation out. If I made a video saying, I don't need no man, ain't no good men left, then I would have been bitter, angry, and too independent. So what do you want from us? I know what y'all want.
Bars. What do y'all think? Chat, tell me what's up. Chat, tell me what's up.
Look, I apologize. I was typing in the back chat.
Oh, I no problem. Not you. I was talking to you. I was talking to the chat.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, here we go.
Y'all want us to struggle like some of your mothers had to. Accept the bare minimum, but we should be so grateful that we even got that. Having to ride or die or build with you because you don't think we're worthy of having a man who got it right the first time. Telling us to be soft, but some of you think that you're the prize. I think the soft position has been taken. If we're receiving any type of good treatment from a man, it's like, what are you doing for him in return? Baby, just existing, because that's all that's needed. Black women should not have to jump through hoops and loops in order to receive love. We deserve that just because, just like the rest of these women. When white women get on this app and post their luxury lives funded by their men, nobody bats an eyelash.
That is true. That is true.
Us, we have to move mountains to deserve it. Thankfully, my man understands that the things that I provide to him are not tangible and cannot easily be replaced. And I don't need to explain to anybody what those things are. Baby, he loves it here. I'm so sorry that seeing us thriving, happy, loved properly, living in luxury, bother you all so bad. Fortunately for me, my black man, he loves to see me happy, at peace, relaxed, and I'm wishing that type of love and treatment for all of my girls.
Right, and believe it or not, in some ways, her and her husband have divested. They just both happen to be black. Yep, they got out of Blackistan. That's exactly. Blackistan hates seeing black women happy. That's what it is. Bars.
Thanks for watching. Why is seeing a black woman live a life full of luxury and leisure so triggering to black men?
But seriously, why are y'all our biggest haters? Like, if this doesn't apply, let it fly. And if it do, it's for you. But my entire life, I've had nobody hate on me more than Black men. Like, why are y'all so weird about that? Like, y'all hate Black women anytime we're happy or anytime we get everything that we've been manifesting, and especially if it comes from another Black man. Like, why are y'all so hurt and angry? I can't tell y'all the amount of times I've had random men jump in my inbox because I said something online about my husband treating me good and making me happy. I'm laughing because one guy flashed me and told me to get over myself and he's a simp. It was the weirdest thing ever, but I just don't understand. Instead of going, go find your happiness, why are you ours?
I think a lot of this comes from the types of relationships that these Black men grew up seeing in their lives. So
Yeah.
I think one of the first relationships that everyone sees is their parents. So if your mother had to struggle, if your mother had to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or even if she was a stay-at-home mom and she wasn't being treated right, you might really not know what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like. And especially a healthy relationship where money in the relationship is not an issue. This young woman, she had the opportunity to quit her job and figure out what she wanted to do because her man was in a position to take care of the household and to afford for them to live on one income. And I'm pretty sure that he still can, but until she figured out what she wanted to do with her job, she doesn't seem like the type of woman who would just be sitting at home, not doing anything, just taking up space. She wanted to be productive with her time. She wanted something to do, and the man was willing to hold things down while she had the chance to do that. I just don't understand why that would trigger anyone unless they are actually jealous of the lifestyle. I think this all comes from jealousy, and this all comes from not even knowing what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like. Because if you love your woman and you are in a position to hold down the household and let her figure out what she wants to do with her life and with her time, I don't know any man who loves his woman and would not allow her to do that.
Ours. Lady Randy says this. She's correct. They keep going back to slavery and the past because they feel we deserve nothing. Bars.
I also feel like a lot of these men are just projecting their insecurities onto this woman, because if you would not do that for anyone, that has nothing to do with her and her man and her situation and their circumstances. It has
Mrs. Newby
everything to
says
do with
this.
you and
Mrs. Newby says this. You know they are, Bridget, while they single and bitter as hell. Yep.
where you are in your life right now. You can only speak that way because you can't afford it and you don't have anyone that you feel that way about.
Atlas says, girl, as fun as you is, don't come around a brother looking sexy on payday. She gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah. They love calling simp men that treat women good simps, which tells you that basically that's the goal. Basically the manosphere goal is to treat women like crap. Because it can't be for well, if you're in a good relationship, she did everything for her man. Everything. And it wasn't enough for them, for dudes that probably don't have nothing this couple had. That is just crazy to me. This was actually by Life with Melanie. Please like and subscribe. That. And Darnell, do you have any thoughts you would like to interject?
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay,
Losing my voice,
folks.
sorry.
Oh, hey, no, I don't. Hey, I totally understand. In fact, everybody, it's been 3 hours. I'd like to thank everybody for coming through. I think I'm going to hit the beat. I think I am going to hit the beat. Here we go. right. In the house, Bridget, Atlas Uncovered, Mr. Scooby, Scooby Bear,
It's not hard to fool me.
Mistress Snoopy,
I'm addicted to the good life.
Baby Nello,
Yeah, lead the way. I follow.
Rika Reed
No
Gaming,
need to say.
Miss
We'll
RB,
be heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good night.
Hey,
Cause I'll find a better one.
Tasty Blackina,
Susceptible now.
Lady Wendy, Wendy,
So tell your good night.
and the lifestyle guy.
Cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
The Rack
It's not
Girl,
a problem.
Rack Girl, thank you
'Cause I
for
know
coming up.
what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me.
It's RV,
'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
and C.
Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I
Down.
follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night. Cause I'll find a better one.
We got Marshall California coming up. Better believe it.
Susceptible now.
Before
Before the moment flies.
the Enlightened Family.
So tell your good night.
BM, Apple Fish, Darnell Elliott,
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Dave Brown. Oops. All right. Let's see. I still got more. Wait, let me get rid of that. All right. So, still in the house. I'd like to thank everybody for coming through. Who else? Who else did I miss? I'm going to get everybody. Oh, Chaos Rain Show. Thank you for coming up as well. And Miss RV, Kittens and Caskets. Why you seeking knowledge? VM. To everyone, thanks for coming through. You got to catch the next shows. They're going to be all the way live. Thanks one more time. This is DJ Torch. And I'm out of here.